Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. I thought this week I'd just do a very quick video, an update on what's been going on in my hobby life, some arrivals that I had just after Christmas, some sort of projects for 2023, and a little taste of history for something very different. And I'm going to start with that this week. I've just returned from a very long trip to the other side of the world in the Pacific. It was actually a very short notice arranged trip to visit our son, and as part of that we visited the South Pacific island of Bora in French Polynesia. And some of my viewers, particularly my American viewers, may well be aware of the nature of the area and its history. And as always, I'm always keen to explore any history, military history attached to the places I visit. And so I took an off-road tour, 4x4 tour up Bora Mountain, part of which was a visit to some apparent cannons, as they call them, that had been left there by the Americans after World War II. So just a very, very brief potted history. The US chose Bora as a military supply base following Pearl Harbor. It's beautifully located, centrally located, enabling them to also have an early listening post direct to Hawaii, and it was used to repair ships and as a stopping off point. So they constructed an air base, an oil depot, supply base, seaplane base as well, which I saw while I was there, and some fortifications. The base was known as Operation Bobcat, and there were 9 ships of equipment and about 7,000 soldiers based there. Part of the defences were 8 7-inch guns operated by the 13th Coast Artillery, and these guns were taken off a battleship or a destroyer, I'm not sure which. There was a bit of conflicted information on that, and they were hoisted to 4 corners of Bora, high ground, and in place there to protect the island. So we went, as I say, on the off-road 4x4 tour. It had been raining quite heavily. It was quite treacherous, to say the least. I was with some American tourists who were great fun, and a couple of the guys there were really keen to see the guns as well. We parked up and we were told that the guns were literally 200 meters in that direction, but the ground was too treacherous to drive, and it was dangerous underfoot as well, and we went there at our own risk. Well, of course, it was only right the 3 of us went, so we did. We left our good ladies at the top, and we took a hike to the guns, and I've got some photos to share with you to show you those. There was a little bit of information there about the CBs and the operation and the base and everything else, but it was never attacked by the Japanese. There wasn't really any military action there as such, but it was just interesting to see the infrastructure that was put in place by the US and left there after the war as well. And funnily enough, there were quite a few children born from relationships between US servicemen and local Tahitian ladies following that as well. But of course it's all gone now, and the base was officially closed quite soon after the war in June 1946. But just a little taste of history, which I always like to share with you when I visit places around the world. Hope you find that interesting. On to other things. A couple of arrivals. Again, I've had these a little while now, but I just wanted to share them with you. I received the small expansion for Red Horizon 41. This is the assault game. I have got the base game. I don't think I've done a video on this yet. I intend to. I've spoken to Wargaming a number of times. This is a fairly new company, Assault Games in Germany. He's produced an absolutely superb production values game, and this is his first expansion to that. He is planning another game on Sicily very shortly, which again looks very, very interesting. So I hope to bring you a little bit more information on that in a future video. Something a little bit different is Pegasus Bridge, the screenplay. Now, several years ago, pre-pandemic, my brother and myself became aware that there was a new start company hoping to bring a Hollywood blockbuster film of the Pegasus Bridge operation to film, and they'd already got all the actors, everything was written, the screenplay was written, everything was in place but the funding, and it was predominantly, I believe, British led film, but unfortunately they couldn't find the financial backers they need. The pandemic hit and that kind of scuppered their plans. What they have produced is a copy of the screenplay, which you can get in hardback or softback. I wanted to get this just to have a read. It's fascinating, actually. And what I really hope is that one day, and this is their hope also, that this can be brought to film to demonstrate and show wider audiences what an amazing operation and feat of arms Pegasus operation was. I was there earlier last year when I went to Normandy for the second time. It's a place that just really sort of captures you when you get there. You just feel you're in a real piece of history when you're walking around there. It's still a fabulous place. It's got lots of lovely monuments, great museum, great cafes. Cafe Rondre particularly is amazing. So yeah, let's hope one day that becomes a reality. But again, my little way of perhaps supporting that was to buy a copy of the screenplay. Well worth a look. You can get that through Amazon. So a couple of little things there. The next thing I thought about since I've been home a few days now is 2023, planning my painting projects and what I want to do and what order I want to do that. So what I've done is just noted down a target of projects perhaps that I'd like to sort of get some way with this year, or get some point of finishing this year, to give myself some targets and objectives. So for me, having just finished my 10mm Carthaginian army, which you can see on a previous video, I want to get my very small Republican Roman 10mm army started, perhaps finished as well. I've just undercoated my 2mm Servile War Slave Revolt Strength&Honour army. You will have again seen my other video with my Ancient Britons. This was the other army that I bought and now putting together. I'm going to eventually show you a video on my progress through that from start to finish in one video. I've started taking some shots at the different stages of the project, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Hopefully that will be really helpful for any of you out there, perhaps moving into the 2mm scale, or indeed looking at a Strength&Honour force. Other things on my agenda, I've got a couple of Napoleonic 6mm armies that I want to get started. My Peninsular War Portuguese and my Austrians. Likewise, I've already started base coating my 28mm cowboys, the ones I showed you that I purchased recently from Black Sheep Miniatures. They look really lovely. I'm looking forward to painting those as a real palette cleanser. I've got a 10mm Finnish World War II army for O Group, which I need to commence at some point. Not sure when that's going to happen as yet. And I've got a couple of rebasing jobs to do as well. So I've got a 15mm American War of Independence Continental Army, which I've had for many years. And I purchased some Hessians from my brother's brother-in-law, who doesn't sort of do wargaming anymore a few months ago, and I want to get those rebased and get everything geared up for the Little Wars TV AWI rule set, so we can give that a whirl as well. That looks really good. My 6mm 1066 Norman Anglo-Saxon forces, I want to get them rebased. I want to paint up some of the Vikings, a small Vikings force that I bought, and my buildings, and I want to get them all rebased, and then look at the best rule set for using those, whether that will be Raven's Feast, whether that will be Hail Caesar when it comes out, or another set like TTS or something like that, to the strongest. We shall see, but again, these are all projects in the offing. And I'm also considering another Nevermind the Billhooks force, this time probably in 10mm. You've seen my 28mm Wars of the Roses. Having got the deluxe rulebook and looked at the other theatres, I'm quite interested in the Italian Wars, Burgundian Wars, something like that, and maybe doing a force of those in 10mm on large bases, so you get a scale of volume of numbers in the units. But that's one for the future. That one, I've got to think about that and then plan the purchase, which I'm sure will be via our friends at Pendraken. So quite a lot there to get through this year. As I say, I've started the 2mm Slave Revolt Force. I've started the Cowboys. I want to get those done ready for What a Cowboy when that comes out in the next few months from Two Fat Lardies. And the other things are sort of projects to continue throughout the year. But I want to start with some targets in mind and sort of have something to measure by at the end of the year. And of course, I'm sure there will be the odd war board game purchase along the way as well. There's a couple of things I'm kind of keeping my eyes on at the moment, and of course I'll bring you unboxings or reviews as and when they happen as well. But just a sort of quick update on plans, projects, arrivals, a bit of history this week, and hope to bring you some more videos very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you all soon.